is The Hub on Hollywood. I'm James. Jamie is on assignments, but we still love movies. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you're watching us on YouTube, thanks. Please subscribe, please like, please comment down below. Join the conversation. If you are watching us, or rather listening to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services, thank you. Please tell a friend. You can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple iTunes. If you are on the run, if you're on the go, and if you can't watch us on YouTube, you can always listen to us at The Hub on Hollywood. Also, we're on social media, Twitter, on Instagram, at Hub on Hollywood. No TikTok yet. We are not that savvy. We're no longer young whippersnappers who are into what these Gen Zers are into. Hopefully, if you know how to TikTok, comment down below. Please help us out. I don't look old, but I'm feeling very old in recent times. Now, on this episode, speaking about growing old, one thing that is passing in time or prolonging, that's a terrible segue, but more movies, their release dates are being pushed back because of the pandemic. We will be covering that. Also, Ryan Gosling and the Wolfman get a director. I guess Ryan Gosling, he's part or joining the Universal Pictures horror monster universe, and we will be talking about who is filling that seat and in the director's chair, and I think it's a really good choice. Also, lastly, and for the first time ever, a Batman. We are, a Batwoman. We are getting a black Batwoman. The CW, they've picked their new replacement for Ruby Rose on the CW's show, Batwoman, and for the first time in history, it will be played by a black character, a black actress, and we will be talking about that and why it might be important. But first, those movie release dates. Now, a lot of films, including a lot of horror films in this, a lot of horror genre on this episode, I'm just realizing. But first, Candyman. If you're looking forward to the quote-unquote sequel or the reboot, whatever you want to call it, to the 1990, I believe, 2 film, the original Candyman, this version written by Jordan Peele, it is being pushed back a month. It was supposed to be released in September the 25th of this year. However, it's been pushed back to October 16th. Now, this is Jordan Peele's 3rd film after writing and directing Get Out back in 2017 and Us in 2019. Both films really, really great. Jordan Peele, a great horror director and writer, and he's off to a great start. This is his 3rd film, and really looking forward to it. I haven't seen the original one. I will probably see it before the new one comes out. Again, hopefully in theaters. We don't know, but anything is possible right now. Maybe coming out on VOD. We don't know what's happening tomorrow. The next film, The Forever Purge, the 5th and allegedly final installment of the Purge film series. The official release date has been announced as June 9th of 2021. So next summer, June 9th, the last Purge film, which I'm not. It's like Saw. They're going to be pumping out more and more until they have a reboot of themselves. Continuing the horror genre for Universal Pictures, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, 2 back-to-back Halloween films that were supposed to be coming out this year and next, being pushed back each a year appropriately. So the follow-up to the 2018's Halloween, that film pretty much retconned the entire sequel series after Halloween, the original one with obviously Jamie Lee Curtis, directed by John Carpenter. Now, Halloween Kills is a story about the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. It continues into the next chapter. That release date has been pushed back an entire year from October 16th to October 15th of 2021. And then Halloween Ends, which is described as the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode ends. It finally comes to an end after all these years. It won't. But that movie has been pushed back from October 15th of 2021 to October 14th of 2022. And, we'll take, whatever good news we can, but with the bad news that Halloween and Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends is being pushed back, John Carpenter and the director of these two new films, David Gordon Green, they went ahead and released a teaser trailer for Halloween Kills. I didn't see the last one. That came out in 2018, but I didn't hear fantastic things about it. But after watching this trailer, I may do it. I'm a big fan of Jamie Lee Curtis, and so here's the trailer for Halloween Kills.
It's okay.
And so, because it's being pushed back, you can understand that many people are disappointed, including John Carpenter himself. He went on Twitter and posted this. He said, "If we release it in October of this year as planned," talking about Halloween Kills, "we have to force the reality, or we have to face the reality that the film would be consumed in a compromised theatrical experience. After weighing our options, we have chosen to push the film's theatrical release by 1 year. On top of the traditional release, Universal has agreed to an IMAX presentation of the film in October of 2021. He goes on to say, "It is an honor to be working with these characters and spending time in Haddonfield. We look forward to sharing our next chapters with you." Signed, David Gordon Green and John Carpenter. Now, Halloween is my top tier favorite horror movie ever. That one, followed by John Carpenter's The Thing, and I think one of the Jason films falls into that. Jason Goes to New York, an underrated Jason film, not appreciated. That scared me so much as a child, and I should not have seen it when I did see it. But that also ranks up there. Anyway, Halloween. Great film, and one of my favorites. I haven't been too thrilled about the recent versions. After, you can talk about Halloween H2O, Halloween, the versions that Rob Zombie directed, created. Not too crazy about it. And the last film, even though Jamie Lee Curtis was reprising her role as Laurie Strode, I meant to see it in theaters. I really did, but I just never got around to it, and so apparently it wasn't a top priority. But so hopefully by next year, when these films do come out, the first one, Halloween Kills, we're back to something better of a new normal. Hopefully we have a vaccine. Hopefully movie theaters, everything else in general is safe, and we are able to go out and enjoy the movie theater experience. Until then, I think it might be a good popcorn, VOD when it comes out to any streaming service to watch. But speaking about horror and Universal Pictures, we're going to continue talking about one of the all-time classics, the 1941 classic, The Wolfman. It is in the works. Production, things are moving. Ryan Gosling is attached to this. And just recently, they announced that they are in negotiations with the director, Leigh Whannell. He directed The Invisible Man, which came out... I had to Google this. The Invisible Man starring Elizabeth Moss. I had to Google this. It came out in February of this year. I honestly thought it came out last year. That's how long, slow time has moved in the past 4 months. 6 months, 4... I don't even know what year it is anymore. Please don't let it be 2021. Long story short, The Invisible Man came out earlier this year, and it was a smash hit. It made $124 million off of a budget of $7 million, and the LA Times, they say that Whannell and Gosling have been wanting to work together for a long time. I was a big fan of The Invisible Man. I thought it took a really different and smart approach to the concepts, and really was able to tell... I did a review on it. I'll put a link down below for The Invisible Man, again starring Elizabeth Moss. Great actress, great work. Universal, apparently they're trying to revive their classic monster films and their characters, including The Mummy, The Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde, Dracula. Now, they were trying to do something with The Mummy and Tom Cruise. That movie bombed, and they were trying to bring in this whole horror multiverse, or they had Russell Crowe playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They had a Mummy. I didn't watch it. I've heard terrible things about it. I'm not planning to watch it. I like Tom Cruise in most things, but not in that one. But apparently, Leigh Whannell has started maybe this revival once again with The Invisible Man and the success. And if he's able to do this with Ryan Gosling and Wolfman, then maybe he's going to move on to Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula. Who knows? So I love horror movies. I'm more than happy to see more people working on them, especially during this time. I like a balance of laughter and horror. Before we get to our last topic, again, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. If you are once again watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Subscribe, please like, and comment down below. What do you think about all these movies getting pushed further and further back? Do you think we will eventually get back into the movie theater and watch Halloween Kills? John Carpenter, he said he wanted that experience to still be alive while Michael Myers kills. And it'd be a shame to see it go away. So that, also Ryan Gosling, Wolfman, what do you think about the cinematic, the horror universe, classic horror monster universe? Also follow us on Instagram. We're on Twitter @HubOnHollywood. Now, lastly, new Batwoman has been announced to replace Ruby Rose on the CW, the new character, and she's taken up the mantle of Batwoman. She is a black actress, Javicia Leslie. This is the first time I've heard of her, but apparently she's been in other shows. I probably should have Googled that, but I'm hopefully pronouncing this correctly. Javicia Leslie, she's been cast to play Ryan Wilder, the new Batwoman in season 2. This news comes a few months after Ruby Rose announced that she would not be returning in season 2. A lot of rumors as to why. Ruby, she tweeted that it was amazing and she's glad Batwoman will be played by an amazing black woman. Ryan Wilder is an original new character for the Arrowverse, the Flash, Arrow, and the other superhero shows on CW. I don't watch them. I have seen episodes of The Flash, and I do like the character. I do like Barry Allen, the actors and the characters and the stories that I've seen. I just haven't gotten into the whole Arrowverse, and I know it's just exploded in the past several years. But yes, Javicia, she tweeted, quote, "For all the black girls dreaming to be a superhero one day, it's possible." And I think, obviously, several things. One, more representation of different people of different backgrounds is always a good thing. Also, if there are people that may be concerned of Batwoman being played by a black actress, by a black character, then you may not have read comics, because comics, every version of every favorite superhero, popular superhero out there are probably 10, 20 versions or iterations of them. And one of the best examples of new characters that we see kind of taking up the mantle is Miles Morales, the character who came out in the comics back in 2011 and most recently back in 2018, I believe, Spider-Man Into the Multiverse, and now PS4 and I believe PS5, because they just announced a new console. They have the Spider-Man Miles Morales video game coming out, and so there are new characters that can take up the mantle of your previous characters. They may not be the same version of it. There are multiple universes, as you know, in the comic book world, in the movie, Marvel, and DC world, and so I think adding a black character, or having a character that is traditionally of one ethnicity, white, and then portray a different version, I think that's okay. I think, I'm not sure if it's, I would imagine that it would be okay to play with different versions of different characters too. I'm not sure how you can get away with having a white actor play Black Panther, but I'm sure there's a comic version, some of that, somewhere out on the internet, out in the world. But yeah, so we're going to have our first black Batwoman in the CW, in the multiverse. And if the DC wants to go, if DCU, DCEU, Extended Universe, the movie film version of it, if they want to go into more alternative versions or alternative universes, then who knows? Maybe Javicia Leslie, please forgive me if I'm butchering your name, maybe she pops up on the big screen in an actual film. I know that for Flash, they actually had the character who came out in Justice League. What's his name? Something Isla Miller. Let's Google him. But he actually came out in the TV show Flash on the CW, and I think that's always cool. I can't spell CW cast. Nope, IMDb. His name is, this is riveting stuff, Ezra Miller. I said Ezra. It's Ezra Miller. So he made a cameo as the Flash Justice League version on the TV show Flash on the CW. So, hey, I like the playing with the universes. That's what I think the comics do best, and they're able to play with outlandish, crazy ideas. Not saying that this character being portrayed by a black character is crazy, but there are wilder things that people, if you can accept certain things, it's something like this should be very easy to accept also. Yeah, so this is a much shorter episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. Next week, Jamie will be back, and we can go back and forth a little bit more. But what are your thoughts on the new character, Ryan Wilder, the new Batwoman, played by Javicia Leslie. And again, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your... I was practicing before, and I'm hoping I'm remembering it correctly. But yeah, what do you think about the CW change? Have you seen the original season 1 Batwoman? What do you think about Ruby Rose leaving? Again, there are plenty of rumors going around as to why. Let me know down below in the comments. This was The Hub on Hollywood. I'm James. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.